Today is such an exciting day here at Fluffy Feather Farm. We're getting the garden ready for Mike to plant all of his vegetables. So come on, let me show you what we're doing. We have this really great weed barrier that we use. So these things are like 15 feet long, which is really, really awesome. And then we go through and we put holes where all of the plants are gonna go. So all the way down the weed barrier, we have holes, and this is set up from last year. So we roll the weed barrier up and then we use the same stuff from the year before, so we're not having to do it over and over again each year. And we put all of the weed barrier back down. We have all the holes in all of the spots that we want them to have, so that every year we can plant plants in the same exact spot. Now we do shift it back and forth a little bit, and we rototill the garden beds so that we're not actually planting in the same exact dirt we were last year. But this is how we keep the maintenance of our garden at a minimum. All of the weeds don't grow because the only area open to the sun and the water is the area where we plant the plant, which is right here. So later on we'll come back, we have all the dirt is nice and loose here. So we'll take our shovels, we'll put our plants in here, and then we set up a watering system so that everything in our garden is watered automatically. And I'm gonna show you how we do that next. So for each of our different garden beds, we set up automated watering for them. So when we moved in here, we ran all of our water through the garden beds all the way around, so each separate bed has its own hose bib on it. And each of these, we attach one of these electronic waterers to. This is just like the sprinkler system on your house, but this is its own single zone. So this turns on and off a hose automatically whenever we want it to. So this here is an example of an irrigation hose. This hose is perforated along the entire hose so that when we turn these on, water seeps out. Some people call them soaker hoses, some call them watering hoses. I'm gonna show you here how it works. So we're gonna manually turn this on. So we turn the water on and you can see that this valve here on this automated timer is keeping the water from going into the hose. So if I wanna manually run it, I just hit the manual button here and it's gonna kick on. And you'll see this hose is gonna fill up with water. And then as the hose fills up, it starts to drip out. So this is a soaker hose. And what we do is we take these hoses and we run them up and down all of the different holes on all of the different beds. Plants gets individual automated watering. So we run them right over the holes here. We put a stake in the ground right next to the hose, right next to the plant, so that every single plant gets its own water every single day. And then we set this up to water automatically so that we don't have to come out here and water. Now, all of our water here is well water. So this is just natural straight out of the ground. So it works really well. The only thing we deal with is that there's, some rust and mineral deposits that we have to clean out of the hoses and the waterers and the valves every single year. But that's manageable because this makes our life so much easier maintaining and watering our garden. Okay guys, so you're probably wondering, what are we planting, right? Because everybody wants to know what's going into the garden, so I'm gonna tell you. So this first section here, this ends up always being tomatoes. The second section is tomatoes also. And then the third section is where we start to see different things. So in this third section is where Mike usually does zucchini and cucumbers and squash, and all of his herbs go into this section. So you'll see each row is gonna be different. This first set of rows here, how there's so many, this is where usually Mike does lettuce. And then we'll see herbs and cucumbers and squash and zucchini all in these next rows. This section now is new for this year, which is really exciting. So you'll notice that there's no holes in this weed barrier because this year we're doing something different. And I'm looking for your guys' opinion on this because we'd love to have some advice as to how to do this, because all of these are going to be carrots. So we're gonna plant carrots, and we're using our old mineral tub buckets from the cattle. So this is what all of our cattle's minerals come in, and they're lick tubs. And when we get done with them, we like to reuse them because they're really, really super great, actually. So obviously we're all about sustainability and reusing everything here at the farm. So what we're gonna do is all of these are gonna get lined up. And the key thing that we've learned, at least that Mike's told me, about carrots is that they need a really, really non-dense soil to be able to grow. So these are gonna get filled with this sand, dirt, mixture of some kind, and this is where I need your help, okay guys? Tell me what you do for your carrots if you plant carrots, because put it below in the comments, because this is our first year doing this and we're really excited about figuring it out. So we're gonna do all these tubs. We have like 20 or 30 different tubs here. They're all gonna get lined up in this section. That's why we covered the whole thing with weed barrier, because we don't wanna deal with weeds. And every single one of these is gonna get carrots planted in it. So next, these sections are pumpkins. So every year, Keegan loves pumpkins. This is his favorite thing that happens every year, okay? So we get pumpkin seeds. This whole section gets pumpkins. And that whole section that they're putting the weed barrier on right now, that all gets pumpkins too. And at the end of the season, we get 200 or 300 pumpkins that go down to the farm stand. They go for sale, and every year we sell all of them. And Keegan's favorite day of the year is pumpkin harvesting day. We all like it too, but about halfway through the day, we get a little tired of seeing pumpkins. So last year we split it into 2 days. But this year we're really, really looking forward to getting some really big, cool pumpkins, because he got some really neat seeds this year. So we have pumpkins, we have gourds, we have the big green gooseneck gourds, we have these giant carving pumpkins. It's gonna be so cool. So that is what's going into the garden this year. Pumpkins, carrots, zucchini, squash, herbs, lettuce, cucumbers, and Mike's favorite, tomatoes, of course. So that's everything that's going into the garden this year. And if you want to see some more updates real time of how all of this stuff is going, then you should join the herd. So click the link in the description and it'll take you to the herd page, and you can learn all about what it means to be part of the herd here at Fluffy Feather Farm.